Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today it's time for a brand new house prediction, and let's get right into this. So usually I like to use this theme terminal, which is very dark, but all these small districts, like it could work out, I guess. But let's see. Yeah, I don't like it because there's so many small lines that they're hard to see. So we can do dark, grayscale. No, let's do. No, it looks too much like 270 to win. Let's do metallic looks pretty cool. Let's do contrast. I mean, like all these teams are really cool, but okay. Let's get started. On the East Coast, we're just gonna go in order, and we are greeted with a very interesting race where we have, uh, if we can pull up this, Jared Golden versus Eric Brakey, and I believe Eric will. All right. See if 270 to win is gonna want to. Whoa. All right. Right. So it's being glitchy today, which is oh, there we go. All right, so this is the Cook political report, and they rate it currently as toss up. As you can see, there's just barely. Jared Golden holds it. So let's see if we can. All right, there we go. I'm gonna try to find a better website for this. So I'm gonna crop this. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So uh, I did find a better map for this using CNN. So let's go to Maine, where Jared Golden in their second congressional district. Now, mind you, this is a very this is a very rural region. So this down here, um, this is a Pingree won this by she got 60% of the vote. So she did very well there. Um, or Jared Golden, he won that by 1.2%. So I don't want town results. I mean, those are interesting to look at, but we don't need them right now. All right. So all right. So Jared Golden, he won this race barely. As you can see, this was a flip because I believe in 2016 it was a Republican. Uh, yeah, it was a Republican. Uh, yeah, it was held by the Republicans. Um, so let's see. I'm 99% sure that it was a flip in 2018 because again, 2018 was a Democratic wave year. So 2016, yeah, it was held by a um, by a Republican, and then in 2018 it flipped to the Democrats. So let's just pull up this map. All right. So as you can see, there were flips, and Democrats flipped a ton of districts. So yes, so this was a flip. However, I do expect it to flip back to the Republicans, mainly because Jared Golden is a strong candidate. Democrats are happy to have him in the House of Representatives, being from a swing district. But this is a rural district that went for Trump in 2016. Now, I do expect it to stay with Trump because again, this is a rural region of Maine. But it's it's gonna flip. Presidential election year should flip back to the Republicans. Maine's first district, excuse me, should be safe for the Democrats. Very urban, all the big cities here is really no reason to worry about. Or the Republicans are not going to campaign here. Democrats know they have this in the bag. And I always said this about 2016, but I'm sure about it this time because, as you can see here, uh, Pingree got 59% of the vote, basically 60%. So yes, let's see. All right. Why is? Oh no. All right, that's okay. Okay, so moving on to New Hampshire's first district. Why is it not showing me? All right, that's weird. Okay. Whoops. All right, so that's my bad. I do know some of these representatives. However, I'm not very like I tout my knowledge. Well, not really knowledge, but I try to act like I know a lot about the Senate in gubernatorial and presidential races. But the House, I'm not even going to pretend like I know who. Is this even their? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is their first district. But luckily, we have my handy dandy. Um, if we can get out of there we go. See if we can find. There you go. All right, so New Hampshire. uh, Ann Custer, I believe her name is. Oh no, sorry, that's the. Okay, here we go. So this is the first district. All right, I was right about that. Where Greg Papas defeated this Edwards guy, and he's the incumbent again. New Hampshire at the presidential level is expected to stay with the Democratic Party, unless something wacky happens. Like again, it's in play for the Republicans, but uh, right now, I think most people have it as likely. Democratic have it as lean. So it should stay with the Democrats. Now moving over to okay, we don't need. Let's go to not. But it is worth noting that right Trump's net approval rating in New Hampshire is -18 and has decreased by I believe 19 points since he took office. Yeah, he was actually doing pretty well here, and it's actually decreased. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to note. So New Hampshire, yes, 02 Ann Custer, she won this race by 13 points. No, sorry, yeah. So yeah, she won by almost 13 points, which is a safe margin for me. Really, no reason. I mean, presidential elections are generally good for Democrats in the House. Not so much in the Senate. I mean, it's kind of a mixed blessing for Democrats in the Senate because, um, on one hand, there's higher turnout, which does help the Democrats, but Democrats, there are, for example, I'd say like there are 20 typically blue states, 24 typically red states, and then there's 6, 7 swing states. So the Senate does actually favor the Republicans, but whatever. I made a video on that. Uh, Going over to Vermont, where Peter Welch is the representative. Again, this is a blue state, and with Phil Scott, he's going to be reelected statewide come 2020. But again, this is a national thing, so should stay with the Democrats. I mean, it's really not going to be competitive at all. So all of these, this is Joe Kennedy's seat. So all of these Massachusetts races are not going to be competitive, except for one, which is going to be likely. I'm pretty sure that they won. Okay, I don't need that too much. I'm pretty sure that this one seat was won by Jim McGovern. Yeah, so surprisingly, he actually won this by a pretty large margin. Uh, I have it as likely because this is like the most all of Eastern Massachusetts is very liberal and urban. Western Massachusetts is very liberal because they have Pittsfield and some middle class workers over there who are more liberal leaning, and this is the one district that's kind of wacky. I don't know why. I don't know why there are. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, that's weird. Um, all right, I really don't know why. Uh, that's is that district is competitive. So again, Rhode Island's going to be safe. All of these races are going to be safe. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know who holds that seat right now. It's Hayes. All right, so this actually was somewhat competitive. It was an 11-point win. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in likely category because again, this is a blue state, but if you watch my election nights, this county up here that's very conservative. Now going over to Elise Stefanik, I believe her seat. That could be leaner, likely Republican. I want to see the. All right, whoa. All right, no, that's not what we needed. Let's see my handy dandy. All right, so apparently this wasn't that close. All right, let's see. Okay, so she won it by, yeah, by almost 14 points, which again is safe for me. Some YouTubers have that as likely, but this should be likely for the Republicans. There are some counties up here in the very north, kind of Vermont, New York, that tend to be conservative, or liberals, excuse me. But again, this should not be competitive. Now going down to this district where I believe Tonko, he won that easily. Well, nope, certainly not that. This district should be actually. I'm saying this district because Yapamus isn't for some reason isn't trying. All right, so 19, and I believe that's Antonio Delgado is the holder of that. Yeah, I think I put that as likely. I think I actually could narrow down, or because this being no, we didn't need that. All right, let's. Okay. So Delgado, yeah, he won it by 4.8%, which is again for me that would be a lean margin. He could expand. I actually do expect him to expand on that. So I'm going to put it as likely presidential election year, higher turnout in New York is a blue state. So going down to New Yorkville land. Let's go down here. Zoom in. All right. Yeah, Maloney. He won the. These are these districts are not going to be competitive. And AOC's district is somewhere down here. Let's see. Oh nope, not Max. That's Max Rose's seat. Right. That is a very interesting race to watch. For those of you who don't know, um, that one could be actually competitive. Being yeah. Uh, so so what was he? I know I'm kind of saying a lot, but I'm actually somewhat interested in this. All right. Let's see. Brian Fitzpatrick. All right. Not a lot of house polling. Yeah, that makes me. Okay. But all right. So I'm gonna give this one first a margin for the Democrats, but again, it could narrow up. Now going over to Long Island, which is pretty Republican. Remember, that was a key race. All right. Ooh, that was closer than I expected. I remember watching that and seeing Zeldin. I thought he won that by something like 10 points. King, yeah, he's gonna he'll expand on his margin. That will be likely. Okay, so Zeldin. That's interesting because it was close, but Rhode Island is a but Long Island is actually a pretty conservative part of New York. Overall, I'm gonna give it to them by a lean margin, but I could see it being likely. Let's go over here. All right, so now upstate New York, Buffalo and Rochester are going to be safe. I think that they won there by. All right, so Buffalo and Rochester. Higgins, he won there easily. It was a little closer in. Okay, so 27 key race. Okay, that was a very close race. Collins, McMurray. Um, Presidential election year, I actually expect the seat to flip towards the Democrats by a tilt margin. Now, again, I believe Collins was the one who, yeah, Collins. If I can see the political report, okay, that is likely. That's silly. All right, this was a that was a tilt margin, and higher turnout in New York State should lead the Democrats with a victory here. Now going over to House 023. Was that Reed? No, sorry. I was about to say Jack Reed, but he's senator from Rhode Island. So again, okay, this is an interesting race. Key race alert. Brindisi. Um, yeah, I think that I'm yeah, she'll probably win there. Uh, yeah, Britain's gonna win re-election now. 24 upstate New York is actually kind of interesting because there are some urban areas, but this is a pretty conservative place. Katko, yeah, she won this by a lean margin in 2018 in a blue wave year. She'll hold on to it by a lean margin again. So a flip here for the Democrats, but I have Eric Brakey flipping that in Maine. Okay, so let's go to New Jersey, where we have some interesting races here because Max Rose's seat is that Max Rose, yeah. So they're gonna hold on to all these. Oh, they're gonna hold on to all the seats. Now Max Rose, this is his district. He won this very, very, very narrowly in 2018. I mean, like super narrowly. Yeah, Max Rose. Actually, okay, that was a likely margin. Yeah, it was a key race. Um, but overall, I actually do expect this to flip. Now, bear with me here because Max Rose, yes, he won there. He's an incumbent, but I don't think of him as the kind of guy who can who can win elections here. It doesn't have a ton of minority appeal. I think he won because of the. I'm forgetting now. Okay, I'm stupid. Sorry, but I think that he'll. I think there was a reason he won. It was kind of a fluke election. I mean, I remember it being kind of. Yes, he did flip this, but Donovan was unpopular, and they're not going to be running Donovan again. So I think that they're going to flip this seat. Um, Going over to this district key race, Malinowski, I mean, that was bad. She'll win this by a likely margin. I don't really expect that seat to flip. Let's see. Sorry, these are Frank Pallone. I forgot about his seat because he's actually pretty popular. All right, so Chris Smith is the holder of this seat. Um, he won that by 12 points. For me, that's likely, but him being the incumbent again should help him there. We're going to talk about one other district here. Andy Kim, yeah, I forgot about his district. So Andy Kim is a very strong candidate. I think he'll win by a lean margin. My model shows him ahead by 3, which I know some people think that Andy Kim's going to lose, but I mean, he's popular. I feel like no one really has a problem with him. In New Jersey, he's done a lot for the Democrats, and they're going to help fund his campaign. And really, the Republicans are in a really bad position right now, so I don't expect them to flip this seat, especially in a blue state in a presidential election year. Yeah, that's going to be safe. Forgot about that. Okay, so this is Jeff Andrews' seat. He ran as a Democrat and won there against a Republican Grossman, but he has switched parties. So he switched during the impeachment hearings and voted to acquit President Trump of all charges. Uh, um, so he basically switched parties. Like he didn't really pull a Mitt Romney. He actually switched parties. Uh, as to not, well, I mean, I guess he didn't really care about what the Democratic Party thought of him, but a lot of his campaign staff resigned. They said that they didn't want to work for a Republican congressman because they were mostly liberal. So I expect the seat to flip. Lean back to the Democrats because I mean this is a blue district. It should, and him being a Republican, I really don't think that helped him in his political career. Okay, so Pennsylvania. Well, all right, Pennsylvania. There are a lot of seats to cover, so please bear with me. Okay, so Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm just gonna get Delaware out of the way because Lisa Blunt Rochester, she's not gonna lose in Delaware statewide race. That's like saying that Chris Coons is gonna lose in the Senate. That's silly. Um, all right, so House election results. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Or okay, sorry, Brian Fitzpatrick. All right, so that's an interesting race to cover. We'll talk about that. So how is that a key race? All right. I don't get why they had that as key race. I was like, how is Philadelphia? That is not a competitive race. I don't know why they had. Okay, so Brian Fitzpatrick. There was a poll that came out. Is that his seat? Yeah, that's his seat. So there was a poll that came out that had him trailing his Democratic challenger. If I can find it right. Yeah, Finello. Or no, sorry, had him barely ahead. I mean, really, overall, I think he's going to lose because high turnout. I mean, this was a this is a Trump state in 2016. High turnout is only going to help the Democratic Party. Pennsylvania should flip back to the Democrats, and yes, Pennsylvania they did reelect Bob Casey to the Senate by something like 16 points, and they elected Tom Wolf as governor by like 20 points. But still, I really do think. I really just I don't see Fitzpatrick winning. Like he ran a very strong campaign, and he could very well run an even stronger campaign and still lose. That's just the way things are. Okay, so Cartwright. I don't even know why they have this key race. So we'll talk about this district in a bit. But Cartwright. So Scranton. I think they'll underestimate how liberal Scranton is. Yes, it is a middle class city. It is the site of The Office. I'm a fan of that show. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. So tell me in the comments section if you like The Office. I just need to know that I'm not alone. But really, this district, this one for Hillary Clinton. And again, Hillary Clinton had no Rust Belt appeal at all. She lost Michigan. She lost Wisconsin. She lost Pennsylvania. She lost Ohio and Iowa by 8 and 9 points respectively. And she almost lost Minnesota, which is. And Minnesota Minnesota went for Walter Mondale in 1984. That's a blue state. But yeah, Scranton is someone for Hillary Clinton. So I would really, really like to see the Republicans flip this seat because I doubt that that's going to happen. Cartwright should win by more than 12 points. Curious Wild, yeah, Wild's going to win re-election, but it could be a little bit closer than 7 points. 6-7 point re-election for Wild. Let's go over to the all right. These are all okay. We're going to talk about Scott Perry's seat because Oh, Scott versus Scott. That's interesting. Okay, so the rest of these seats in rural Pennsylvania are going to be safe for the Republicans, except for Scott Perry's seat. Um, Again, the Republicans have put themselves in a pretty bad position right now because, uh, like right now, they are on track to lose the presidency and to lose the House and the Senate, maybe even. I mean, I'd give the Democrats like a 90% chance of retaining the House. I mean, bottom line is, if you're watching this to see like if you just skip ahead to like see like the result, if you're still bearing with me, thank you. But spoiler alert: the Democrats are not going to lose control of the House. Like that is uh they're not going to lose control of the House. That is like I cannot even see them losing it. That's just not going to happen. All right, so Scott Perry, I expect him to lose re-election. He's unpopular. Give it a lean. Actually, going to put it in tilt just to be safe. But if I can find the polls, I wonder if there's a poll of Scott Perry because people say that can you lose my back right? Okay, people say that there's well, else here. Okay, so people say that Scott Perry uh is a blue district Republican. He is in such a divided country. That's not going to be good news for him. Down here, that'll be safe for the Republicans. These cities are going to be safe for the Democrats. Now Erie, I think the Republicans won big in Erie. Was that a Erie? Yeah, actually, right. Mike Kelly. I was about to say Mark Kelly, but Mike Kelly. I don't get why the House forecast has this as safe the Republicans because it's really not. But point being, this should be a lean Republican district, just only because for the pure reason that again we're in a divided country, and Erie is a swing district, but they have some urban areas. However, like down here is completely Republican. Pennsylvania is still pretty gerrymandered overall, so um, I I don't really see uh, Democrats picking up that seat. I mean, Virginia actually had them flipping 2 seats in Pennsylvania, so they're going to be fairly generous towards the whoa, I just got a text. Sorry, my bad. I should turn off alerts. Uh, the map flipped out. All right, so let's go to Maryland. Now Maryland is interesting because they have Democrats that are winning here huge, like Throne. He won there by Trone. Sorry, he won there by like insane margin. Whoa, I really didn't want to do that. All right. Oh, it's not. That's sad. All right. So yes. Okay, let's go down. I was not curious. Is that Whitney? Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I really do. I digress. But so this is a red area of Maryland. Like people say that Mike Trone's gonna lose. I say Mike Trone. It's not Mike Trone, but he'll win re-election. Could be likely, but as likely because could narrow up. Maryland again is very gerrymandered for the Democrats. Probably, it's actually probably like the only state that's gerrymandered for the Democrats because all the other states that are gerrymandered have heavy Republican bias. Going up here, Harris, yeah, Colvin Harris. Anyone? Whoa, did not mean to do that. All right, so there we go. So Maryland's their first is going to go to the Republicans now. Abigail Spanberger versus was that Joe Bratt? Um, was that Joe Bratt? I'm not sure because all right, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked. So going over to Virginia, let's actually zoom out because kind of scary when we're all zoomed in. You can't even tell what state you're in because my Virginia because like they're on bold lines separating the states. So you're just like, what state am I in? Or is this North Carolina? Is it Ohio? Is it Florida? So going over to Virginia, let's actually zoom out a little bit here too. Right, so Virginia's first district should be safe for the Republicans. I'm actually going to fill in safe Republican districts because again, House isn't looking so good for the Republicans, but there are a lot of safe districts for each party. I gave Riggleman. Yeah, that'll be safe. Could be likely, but I'm not really going to talk about that because I'm going to have to talk a lot about 2 districts in Virginia. Abigail Spanberger's district, and I'm forgetting the name of the other woman who holds other lady. Yeah, Luria. Yeah, that was a flip in 2018, where, as you can see, little flip icon. Um, so, yeah, there's a little flip icon here, but it was a flip. They won by 6,000 votes, almost, or actually a little more than 6,000 votes. Um, I expect this to stay with the Democrats because this peninsula, I don't know about other areas, but it's Democratic at a presidential level. And again, this is a presidential election year, so higher turnout only spells out good news for the Democrats. Now, Abigail Spanberger, her seat, she flipped that seat again. It'll stay with the Democrats. It'll be a little bit closer than this district over here. But again, popular incumbent who we really don't have a problem with is good news for her. Plus the fact that they're going to have high turnout, which again, as I've said many times, helps the Democrats. So only going to see good news for them in Virginia. Now going over to West Virginia, these two districts are insignificant. Carol Miller, her district, which is WV03, as I like to call it, it's 03. She beat Ojeda by 13. No, I thought she only won by 10. All right, so she won there. Ojeda did get a lot of media attention, but again, should not be competitive this time around because Ojeda is running for Senate, which is certainly interesting to see. Now going over to Ohio, Tim Ryan, that's his district. That'll be likely. Then these two are going to be safe, as is this one. So Ohio is very gerrymandered for the Republicans, as is their state legislature, which I actually talked about in the video, I'm pretty sure. But all these districts are going to be safe for the Republicans. Other than, actually, let me see him because I'm actually kind of doubting myself on this one. Oh, that's Fudge. Wait, Oh, wait, is that? Oh, sorry, I got. Okay, so Fudge actually challenged. I think it was Maria Fudge. I'm not sure what her name is. Excuse me. But she challenged Pelosi for the Speaker of the House role after the Democrats took control of the House because she wanted, someone new blood because Pelosi's part of the system, the establishment. But she lost, as did Seth Moulton, who is up in Massachusetts. We're not going to be talking about that now. This district is I think it's outside of Cincinnati. But all right, Cabot won that seat. I'm not sure. Was that a flip? No, it wasn't a flip. All right. So what's interesting is that Joyce. All right. That seat's not going to be competitive. I know that was a key race apparently, but right. So the first district of Ohio, Cabot, he'll win by a likely margin. Again, because this is kind of an urban area of Ohio, but it's Ohio and it is pretty. Southern Ohio is very conservative. So all these Detroit districts are going to be blue. I believe that's one that I had my mouse hovering over is Rashida Tlaib's district. So that's certainly interesting. Now let's go talk about that Tlaib's Stevens. Yeah, I think I filled it in as blue actually. I took that for granted for the Democrats, but I actually took a lot of stuff for granted. My bad. I'm not very good at house predictions. I was horrible in 2018. So although I'm a bit more confident because I did have the Democrats retaking the House, but I underestimated the Democrats. I had them 10 less seats than they actually got, which was pretty embarrassing for me. So up here, I'm just going to fill because Kelly is going to win re-election. It's no brainer. All right, so first we're going to talk about the 11th district. That was a flip. Stevens won there. Epstein. Well, that's not a good name. I think that he'll win re-election. Again, could narrow up. I haven't done a model. So my house model only does districts that I actually focus on. I haven't focused on this district, which as you can see, is actually probably do that because I characterize it as safe on accident when it's actually very competitive. That one should actually be less competitive than saying that one and this one, but House 08 should be less competitive than House 11 because it was a flip. But Bishop, he was popular, and I actually didn't. I'm pretty sure I got that race wrong. Now the rest. So we're gonna fill in all these Michigan districts except for Justin Amash's district. There was a competitive race here apparently. So Yeah, Fred Upton defeated Long John. Yeah, that's a very conservative part of Michigan. I can actually bet on it being safe because should be safe. And this is Justin Amash's district. So Justin Amash, for those of you who don't know, he was a Republican. He won there the first time he won was Tea Party Wave 2010. He's been a Republican ever since. He split with the party, became an independent to convict President Trump. Actually, kind of the opposite of Jeff Van Drew um, in southern New Jersey, but he switched. He actually didn't switch parties, but he's now. Long story short, he's now the only Libertarian member of Congress and not running for re-election. There was some polling done in this race that had the Democrats ahead. Michigan third district, yeah. So this is interesting because they had them tied in the head. But again, this is a red district, and it voted for Amash overwhelmingly here, as you can see. Well, not overwhelmingly, but best case scenario for the Democrats, they make it likely. I'm just gonna put it as likely Democratic because there's no incumbent, so certainly interesting. Now, Indiana is not competitive at all. There are these are red seats. This is a likely red seat, and then over here, urban areas. This is actually super blue area. Like I think they got 75% of the vote in 2018 up there. Yeah, 65%. Well, I underestimated them a little bit. Ooh, this is interesting because that one was close. I actually expected this one to be close. Whoa, 56.8% of the vote. I think that could narrow up, but this one that's interesting then because okay, so Walorski won by 9 points. All right. Okay, so let's go to Chicagoland. That's Lauren Underwood's district. Oh, we're not going to talk about that quite yet. Whoa, no, I didn't mean to fill in that. I'm not stupid. I know it's a competitive district. All right, let's fill in. Again, a lot of districts for Chicago. I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to check. All right, Kelly. Oh, he won 80. Oh, wait. All right, so Lauren Underwood, she actually won there by a pretty significant margin. By 5 points exactly against Holtgren. That was a flip, which is actually interesting news for the Democrats. Okay, that was a flip. I did not know that. All right, I actually think that should be safe. But Lauren Underwood, she's a very strong candidate. She has a lot of minority appeal, and a Democrat 2020 should be a Democratic wave year, if not, yeah. But overall, high turnout. This being in Illinois, in a state that's going to overwhelmingly go for Joe Biden, should secure them the victory in that district. Now, I think there's one more competitive. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so Bustos. I didn't. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he's the incumbent. He won there easily, so that won't be competitive. So, all right. Darren LaHood won East. No, I forget. All right, Darren LaHood. All right. Okay, Rodney Davis. That's his seat. He won there barely, so we're actually going to talk about that. Darren LaHood. All right. Let's see. That was not competitive. All right, so Rodney Davis is. Let's see if there's any polling on that because again, House polling isn't as reliable as other polls that come out. Oh, it's interesting. There was a poll that had Cabot ahead. I think I had him winning. All right, let's see what we have here. McBath, Handel, Keene. So some of these polls are actually pre. Okay, Abby Finkenauer. Yeah, all right. So yeah, no polling that would suggest that would actually give us any more information on this district than we already have. But I think being an incumbent in a pretty rural area of Illinois should get them the victory. Talking with the GOP, but could be close and actually could see it flipping. Now all these other red seats are. Wait, is that a red seat? I think I'm actually wrong about that because Democrats. Wisconsin state legislature is actually very gerrymandered, but their House districts aren't anymore. That should be safe. That'll be a bit better for the Republicans than it was in 2018. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was thinking of Bryce's district for this one. All right, so these should be likely for the Democrats. Again, could narrow up. I want to see the margins for 2018. Okay, yeah. Okay, they won there by safe margin. Oh, Polk. All right. He was unopposed, but I'm just going to give that to them. But this is a pretty middle class area that I believe Hillary Clinton didn't do great in. I mean, I think Obama did well here, but Clinton did not do great. All right, so let's talk about Wisconsin's first district, I believe. Yeah, that's Tim Ryan's or not Tim Ryan. I'm thinking of Paul Ryan. Sorry, that was Paul Ryan's former district. Paul Ryan is actually he was the former Speaker of the House as well. He ran for vice president with Mitt Romney. Obviously, he lost. But I got to characterize that district, right? So Paul Ryan's former district, I actually did not think it was going to be competitive, but it was surprisingly somewhat Bryce. Oh, so I actually see this narrowing up for the Republicans as a likely seat, but again, could be safe. I could be wrong. Okay, let's go up to Green Bay, where Mike Gallagher is the incumbent. I actually think that high turnout from Green Bay, which is kind of a swing area of Wisconsin, could make this a 12 point loss for the Democrats, which is in the likely column for me. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Minnesota, and there is a very vulnerable Democrat in this district, Colin Peterson. Let's see, that was a flip, or I believe it flipped to the Democrats. So Minnesota actually did kind of trend to the right in the midterms, which is interesting um, because the Republicans flipped two districts. Because Democrats had retiring incumbents, but again, the Republicans have a lot of retiring incumbents this year as well. So that's certainly interesting to watch. See that play out. Again, this is just so you guys know, this is Tom Tiffany's district. There was an election there. Remember, uh, same night that Christy Smith and Mike Garcia had their race in Southern California. So that'll be safe for the Republicans again. I know the Democrats did get like 44% of the vote and made a likely. That was actually a good showing for the Democrats in northern Wisconsin. Sorry, I do have a bit of a cold in case you can't tell. But so yeah, no, okay. So Pete, wait, what? I'm pretty sure that Pete Stauber switched parties. Um, I'm actually really confused on this. All right, it's because I could have sworn he was a Democrat. Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting because I was I was 100% sure that I was like 99% sure that he was a Democrat, which is interesting. But all right, whatever. So I expect this to flip towards the Democrats. Let's see the rating for this seat. How is that safe? That's whoa. That's okay. That's inappropriate. Um, this is not. This is a political channel. This is not other stuff. Let's see if I can get this out because I need to click on Minnesota. This is sorry. I Minnesota, yeah. So Pete Stauber, I thought he was a Democrat, but I think this is going to flip towards the Democrats to the Democrats, just because overall, I mean, Minnesota, Hillary Clinton did so poorly there in 2016 for a Democrat. And I know this is 2018 results that we're looking at, but uh, tr- this should trend to the left in 2020 for sure. Actually, for sure. Um, yeah, and then as for Colin Peterson's district, I this is going to flip towards the Democrats or to the Democrats. I know Peterson won there narrowly over Hughes. I mean, from what I've heard, he's not that popular, so it'll be lean Republican. And again, this is a rural conservative area of Minnesota, so certainly interesting to watch. Now the Republicans flipped this seat down. I don't know district yet, so that was a flip, but there was a retiring Democratic incumbent. Um, it'll probably stay with the Republicans just because of the incumbency factor. Again, could be competitive when I'm forgetting the gentleman's name. Hagedorn retires, but right now it's not. Craig, he'll win re-election by a likely margin, and then Minneapolis is going to be safe for the Democrats, and then Emmer, yeah, that's a win for the Republicans right there. So as you can see, we have two flips in Minnesota, one for each party, one for the Democrats and one for the Republicans. So let's go over to Iowa, where we have three very. That was a horrible voice crack. We have four very interesting races. Uh, talk about. So first of all, this is Steve King's district, probably least competitive. I think that I know that there are a lot of people like who like Steve King, especially diehard conservatives. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually pretty liberal, so I'm not a big fan of Steve King. Um, and I was actually very happy when he lost his primary. But he is actually he was kind of like the Chris Kobach of this district, except not as horrible for the GOP as Kobach because he somehow found a way to like get himself elected narrowly over yeah. So there was some polling on that. Schulten's running again. Oh, stupid. Sorry. So yeah. Steve King, him out of the mix for the Republicans is only going to help them. But again, this is Iowa, which is a very wacky. Well, oops, sorry, which is pretty wacky. So again, we're going to probably see this going to the Republicans by a likely margin. Now, Cindy actually, this is her district. She'll win that by a likely margin. People say that this is going to flip. It's not going to flip. Cindy actually, she flipped that against I think Young. I forget his name. I know what he looks like. Was it like? It wasn't Todd Young because he's senator from Indiana. It was Mike Young, Dave Young. I think. It was Dave Young. So yeah, he was the incumbent. It'll flip. He's running again, but I think that kind of like Martha McSally, uh, voters just that would be like Scott Walker running in Wisconsin in 2020. Like voters just replaced him. Like what's the point of him going? Like they should if the Republicans really want to win that district, in my opinion, they should nominate someone else. Uh, Dave Loebsack, he won that by a pretty significant margin. It'll probably be likely for the Democrats. And now Abby Finkenauer, I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, flipped that seat. She was big on Joe Biden. I mean, like in the start, she did very well. I don't see what the rating is. This whoa no, okay. I'm really sorry, guys. I actually feel bad about that. All right. So yeah, a toss up. Thanks so much. I was looking for a tilt or something, but all right. So I'm gonna put this as a tilt blue because yes, they did flip. These used to two of these districts used to be they were Republican. If I can see, yeah, okay. So these, yeah, so Finkenauer and the one where Dave Young lost in Iowa, they flipped towards the Democrats, excuse me. So Iowa is going to be very, very interesting because of the fact that this is a presidential election year, and Iowa is in all likelihood going to go for Donald Trump. Now, Senator race is going to Teresa Greenfield is almost certainly going to outperform Joe Biden in Iowa. But I mean, she's just really it's a really interesting thing to note that Abby Finkenauer is popular, but this race is still going to be so close. Okay, let's hopefully that ad is going to be gone because I'm going to need to look at Missouri House forecast to make sure I'm not missing anything. Is it gone? Yes, it's gone. Right, there we go. Okay, I'm really sorry about that, guys. All right, it's safe. No. No, dang it. Sorry, that's the forecast. Yeah, so as you can see, Iowa 4th District after Steve King lost in the primary. And that's good news for the Republicans. Unless you're a racist, then it's probably bad news for you. You're going to look at the House forecast now. All right, so I'm going to see if I can... there we go. Okay. All right, so okay, so no competitive race in Missouri. That's interesting because I thought there was going to be one. Lacy Clay, his district shouldn't be competitive. The Republicans don't really have a shot at flipping that. Is that not competitive? All right, that's all right. Oh wait, so Wagner, he won that, and sorry, she and Wagner won that. Could narrow up, but again, not really going to be competitive unless they have because she wasn't the incumbent. I'm pretty sure that she was not the incumbent. Oh, she was. Never mind. I'm stupid. All right, so all Kentucky is going to be safe for the Republicans, other than that one. Gosh, then that one district that the Democrats hold, which is where all the big cities are in Kentucky. But so this district is Andy Barr's district. He won it barely over Amy McGrath. I mean, barely. Yeah, he won it by 3%. Yeah, so and this is yeah, okay, so as you can see, safe blue district there. But if you're a Democrat hoping that this oh my god. I don't know if I really don't know what's wrong with my voice today. But this district is gonna be safe for the Republican Party. So I get the Andy Barr, he only won by 3 points there, but that was because Amy McGrath was running. She's a very strong campaigner. She is running against Mitch McConnell in the Senate, which could be interesting to watch. There are a lot of people who actually think she's going to pull it off. All right, let's go over to North Carolina, which used to be gerrymandered, but not anymore. So now, see the forecast. All right. I'm actually gonna look at previous because that forecast is not. No offense to whoever's doing that forecast, but it's not fun. It's not very good. All right, so wait. Oh, the district's change. Oh shoot, the district. No. Oh gosh, because it was so gerrymandered. Like that's good, but um, yeah, this is interesting because holding. Yeah, I'm actually gonna be really bad at this prediction. I'm probably gonna be very wrong because these areas were redistricted. I'm just gonna get a general consensus of the area. So I'm actually not gonna talk about North Carolina because um, oh, that's weird. All right, I'm just gonna fill out this. Okay. Uh, ask me later about North Carolina because I'm really sorry about North Carolina. So they redistricted because it was so gerrymandered. So that's weird. I'm really sorry, guys. So I guess that's my unofficial prediction for North Carolina because I don't have any past results, and again, I'm very bad at these house races. So yeah. All right. So let's go over Tennessee, where there's could be two blue districts, I believe, and then the rest are gonna be red. Not a lot of competitive races in Tennessee to watch. Let's see if Tennessee, yeah, nothing competitive. All 60s. Is that Cooper? Yeah. All right. So, going over to Arkansas. Some people think that was random. Some people think that this district over here is going to be competitive. That one, it's not. Arkansas is going to be red all over. Not as in they're embarrassed, as in they are Republican. French Hill. French Hill barely won against Tucker, and uh he's one of the most popular Republicans in the House. So yeah, that's Benny Thompson. Yeah, he'll win re-election because high African American turnout is gonna help the Democrats certainly because like in the midterms. 90% of African Americans who cast a ballot went for the Democrats. Only like 9% went for the Republicans, which is very interesting. Um, so Terry Sewell, she was unopposed. She'll probably win again, but because that's the blue district of Alabama. Um, Georgia, there are actually potential flips here. So Lucy McBath, actually we're going to talk about that in a second, but Bishop, just going to characterize as safe. Wait, did they redistrict too? Oh no, because if they did, oh yeah, they didn't. I was like, I need my 2018 election results to know to have a clue about what I'm talking about. But right, so we're gonna talk. So these are all. Is that gonna? It's not Jimmy Carter for those of you who wonder. It's not Jimmy Carter. That one only mildly competitive, but again should not be super competitive. All right, so we're gonna talk about these two districts here. Where first okay, we're gonna talk about Lucy McBath. So this is Georgia 07, I believe. Oh, 06, my bad. That's 07. Okay, so Lucy McBath flipped that seat. And for those of you who don't remember, there was a special election here in 2017 where John Ossoff ran. He didn't do. He did very well. I mean, because in 2016, Handel carried this by 23 points or something. 16 actually, my bad. But Lucy McBath flipped that seat. It was a very tight race. She'll probably hold on to it because of high African American turnout. And Woodall versus Bordeaux. There was a primary there, and I was actually going to put this as I did a model on this, and I actually had it as D plus 06. But I mean it's going to be a runoff. So Bordeaux, in all likelihood, Carolyn Bordeaux is going to get the nomination, but it should be Tilt Republican. All right, so we're gonna South Carolina is interesting because it's only like a one competitive district, and I believe that's Joe Cunningham's district. Wait, what? Cunningham. All right, there we go. So Jim Clyburn. All right. So Jim Clyburn, he'll hold on to his seat. Whoops, wrong color. So the Republicans, they're gonna. Whoa. All right, this is getting super out of control right now. So going over to Joe Cunningham's district, he got 50.7% of the vote. He'll win re-election, but it'll be narrow. He's a charismatic guy, and he has appealed to a lot of voters, even some typically conservative white voters. That's why he flipped the seat in 2018. Yeah, that was a flip, just making sure. Okay, Florida is interesting because Democrats do have a lot of subject matter here. to go off, but I just don't see like the perfect opportunity for them. Like for example, like there's always like that perfect opportunity for each party. In Colorado for the Democrats, they have Cory Gardner, who's like the most vulnerable income. Like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, but Cory Gardner has a higher chance. He has a lower chance of winning than Doug Jones does in Alabama, and that's really a lot of stuff to say. But we're not talking about this. Okay, we're gonna talk about that was a flip. Okay, Curbelo, he's not running again, so I actually think this should go to the Republicans narrowly. Now I know that um, there are a lot of Latinos here, and that is always good news for Democrats, except for literally this part of Florida where they immigrated from Cuba. And Republicans have done a very good job of associating Democrats with the socialists in Cuba, so that'll be likely. So I think that that seat should be tilt towards the Republicans. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but still interesting. All right, wait, how did Wilson was what? Let's okay. There was no contest apparently. All right, so he won 0% of the vote. That's interesting. All right. Whoa. Okay. So we've characterized more than half of our seats. I believe. No. Almost. Okay. We're almost halfway there. But some of these seats are like. I mean, we had some of these like. A lot of the seats aren't going to be competitive, so I'm not going to talk about them. Um. Yep. Diaz. How is that a key race? Because she won there by 20 points. That's weird. All right. Buchanan. Spano. Yeah. So Spano's going to win. Whoa. 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 Okay. Spano's going to win. In Florida. But let's talk about wrong district. Let's talk about Buchanan for a second because I don't. It's not Pat Buchanan. It's another Buchanan. It's not James Buchanan either though. He's dead. Oh my God, Shapiro. Ben Shapiro ran totally. All right, no, I'm joking. Okay, this is just. I mean, like Charlie Christ, that's his district. Castor, he'll win re-election there. But I mean, being realistic with you guys, I don't see a way for this seat to flip. But it could be close. I mean, it's gonna be close, but it's not gonna flip. Kind of like, states like Michigan, like kind of like the Michigan. Like, I mean, too many analogies here, but like the Michigan Senate race is gonna be close, but it's not gonna flip. That's Val Demings. She won with 0% of the vote. Okay, but that's Val Demings' district in a pretty swingy part of Florida. But overall, it should be uh, going for the Democrats unless she's picked as VP. We're gonna have to look at that if she's picked as VP. Um, Webster, yeah, he'll win. Panhandle's gonna go red, except for all but one district. All right, let me see one more thing. All right, okay, so it's okay. That was actually less close than I expected. All right, um, Florida, yeah. What? Which district was it? That was Ted Yo. All right, whatever. Sorry, I think I lost it because that was just okay. That was weird of me. Okay, so, and then this district. Oh, goodness. All right, sorry. I haven't technical difficulties. Up here, this district, wait, why is, okay, for some reason, I thought it was a lot closer than it actually was. My bad. That's on me. So yes, as you can see, the Democrats are kind of, the gap is closing, but again, it'll be interesting to see. All right, so all these districts are going to be blue except for Richmond. Oh, wait, they ran oh, wait, that's interesting. So a Republican didn't run, but still a pretty urban part of Louisiana, very diverse, which again, good news for the Democrats. Far more diverse party than the Republicans. Okay, so let's go. Okay, we covered like half of America. All right, actually more than that. Okay, so we're going to go to the Dakotas, which are not going to be competitive at all, nor are any of these Nebraska districts except for the second district, which I believe was actually not that competitive in 2018, which is a blue wave year. Um, it was actually somewhat competitive. Oh, it was very competitive. I think Bacon's gonna win here again. Um, Bacon's gonna win there again, just because. Again, I know. Just because the incumbent, and again, Nebraska's second district should went for Obama in 2008. It's not going to go for Biden unless something wacky happens. Now, I'm going to go and say that Kansas, I believe that's Kansas 02 is going to flip towards, yeah, Kansas 02. So that was that wasn't a flip, but I'm pretty sure that that district really helped Laura Kelly, and it's trending to the left. I know that the Republicans won there, but trending to the left overall. As for '03, uh, David's, that was a flip. I mean, when you see these flips, they're only good news for the party that flips them because that means they said no to an unpopular incumbent. So again, only good news for the party that flipped it, which in our case is the Democrats. All of Oklahoma is going to be safe red, except for Kendra Horn's district, which should be tilt Democratic now. And there should be polling here, Kendra Horn, because this is a very competitive district. It's going to get a lot of attention. No Kendra Horn polling, not at all. I know I'm going back here a lot. All right, let's see if this. All right. This is. All right. That's. Go back to 2019. All right. That's. All right. Jim. Why were they polling for? Okay. Okay. So yeah. Um. No polling for Kendra. That's weird. She'll win re-election because this is a very urban part of Oklahoma. She's the incumbent, and I know the Republicans aren't running everyone super strong. It'll just be competitive because this is Oklahoma. That was a flip though, I believe. Yeah, that was a flip. So now Northern Texas is going to be red all over, as I said. But Arkansas, not embarrassed, but Republican. Um, Texas has a lot of. I haven't even done Texas and California. Okay, This is not good news because I want to keep this video condensed, but this is gonna be longer than an hour. I just realized it's a weird video. All right, so let's talk about let's talk about yeah, those are gonna stay with the Republicans just because incumbency, and again, Beto O'Rourke, he actually helped down ballot Democrats win, but that's not gonna be competitive. Um, but again, I only say this because Beto O'Rourke is certainly gonna outperform Biden in Texas, which again is only good news for them. Wait, did I just characterize the wrong district? All right, that is Wright's district, I believe. Yeah, okay, so should be safe for the Republicans. Williams, he'll win there. Yeah, that's a weird district because kind of urban but not super urban. So he'll win there. Now Heard, Ortiz Jones. Yeah, that's gonna flip blue. I'm calling it. Ortiz Jones. She's definitely gonna. She has all the appeal to minorities in the world, and there are a lot of Latino voters here who didn't vote in 2018 but are expected to come out in 2020. Um, so it's gonna flip towards the Democrats. Let's go. Southern Texas is gonna be blue all over, similar to Vermont, although it only has one district. So there's yeah. So as is that wacky looking district, which looks horrible. It's not very attractive. Like if I did, if I had to choose like Data House district, it probably would not be that one. Um, yeah, Roy's gonna win. Sorry, Roy's gonna lose by a narrow margin. By a lean margin. I'm not gonna say tilt because it's not gonna be that close. Now over here, I know I'm saying gonna because, but I'm actually using data on like I'm not using polling as much as I usually do, but still it's interesting to just to see how right I am because I'm probably gonna be very wrong about this because my forecasts are in terms of the House. I underestimated the Democrats in 2018, so I'm probably gonna be wrong again, but that'll be interesting to watch. Wait, so what's the one district? Oh, wait, it's that what? Oh, okay. Wait, is it? Oh my goodness! All right, I think it's this district, but that'll probably go to the Republicans very, 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 very narrowly. What district? Oh, they redistricted. I don't even know. Right, so that's Texas. We're done with Texas, thank God. So I'm gonna call NMO3 only competitive district in New Mexico. Is gonna flip towards to the Republicans, which I know a lot of people think that. I think most people actually are against me on this one because a lot of people think that Torres Small is gonna win here, but I think she's gonna lose. I mean, this is a very rural part of New Mexico. Yes, there is a there is a high concentration of Hispanic voters, which is good news for the Democrats. But still, rural region of New Mexico, and should just not super. I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling for the Democrats here. So 235 or no, 218 is the magic number. Sorry, so 168 for each party. We haven't even gone to California right now, so not looking good for the Republicans, at least in my forecast. Um, okay, let's go over to Arizona where O'Halloran and Ann Kirkpatrick. Okay, Ann Kirkpatrick, she flipped that seat. She ran for Senate in 2016 as well. She'll win. She's popular. She has all the name recognition, so I think she'll win re-election there. As is that district, and then the urban parts of Arizona that are liberal. All right, so this is Andy Biggs is the congressman here. Yeah, he'll probably win that by a safe margin, but as is that seat, I believe, yeah, that'll be safe. So we're going to talk about these districts over here. No flips for the Democrats, but these two districts are weird because they're very urban, and I've actually visited both these places. I said visited both these places, but still, certainly, I mean, really, when you think about it, the high concentration of seniors, which is good news for the Republicans. So yeah, it'll stay with the Republicans by tilt margins. But overall, I mean, uh, they're going to narrow up certainly. Presidential election year, higher turnout. But I mean, really interesting. That I mean, interesting. Like, just I don't get like if Arizona had if that region of Arizona had a higher concentration of Hispanics, those would be very blue districts, but they're not. Interesting to look at. Okay, so Utah's going to be red all over, except for that one district in the middle where Ben McAdams is the current holder of it. He flipped that seat. Mia Love held it, but it's going to be about as blue as a lake, as a salt lake in that region. I know I'm being very cringy today, but still, just certainly is going to, it's Ben McAdams is the incumbent. He'll hold on to that. I don't really trust I don't think that the Republicans are running the strongest person there, but that's not my choice who they run because I'm not. Well, I'm actually. It's not anyone's choice. It's the voters' choice, and I just in. I know this is very shocking, but I actually did not vote in that primary for that district. So, sorry guys. Tipped in. I don't know how that was even that close because Colorado, they have a lot of safe districts for each party. They're Colorado. I think they've had the same Democrat there for like 30 years or something. I forget. Yeah, Coleman. And then these districts are going to be ruby red. Okay, so Montana is actually interesting because, actually, I'm going over Idaho first. So Idaho is interesting because, this district up Idaho 02 has not been competitive since 2008, but when it was, they had a Russ Fulker. He in the 2008 blue wave, Democrats actually won that seat, which is etched into my brain because I talked about that. All right, so Greg Gianforte, I mean, he's a very weak candidate. I mean, he has so many scandals. He body slammed a reporter. Here names Whitney Williams, who is also a pretty weak candidate, but Gianforte is weaker than Williams. I mean, at least Williams isn't unpopular, so it'll be likely. Could be 11 point. Could be safe, but it'll probably be likely for the Republicans. But I think the Democrats. I mean, they have a very real shot at making Montana blue all over. Like they could, I think they're going to win I think they're going to win the Senate race there. Bullock's going to win the Senate race, and Cooney's going to win the gubernatorial race. Now the House race is probably the only one in Montana that favors the Republicans over the Democrats, but still could be close. Now Washington is interesting because there are not really that many competitive districts other than this one. How is that even? How is? Oh, all right. Sorry, I was like, how is that one even competitive? But I was looking at the wrong thing. So that one could actually be somewhat competitive because of Spokane, which is a very big city. But I'll put it as likely. And over here in Buter, yeah, she'll probably hold on by a likely margin. All right, Newhouse, yeah, that'll be a win for the Republicans, and to the rest of Washington, it'll be safe for the Democrats, except for one seat that we got to talk about for a little bit, and we got to that right there, and that's whoa, right. There are 10. So looking at Washington, looks like there are only like uh, 6 or 7 districts, but there are actually 10 districts in Washington because they have 12 electoral votes. Right. So Schreier, that was a flip. Rossi, it'll probably stay with the Democrats again. Presidential election year, high turnout, but could very well flip back to the Republicans. As you can see, we're tied, and we haven't even done California yet, so looking good for the Democrats. Northern Oregon should be safe blue. Pretty sure, unless I'm wrong. But all right. So yeah, all of Oregon's blue except for Greg Walden's seat, which is all of the Republican West. I actually heard that the Republicans in Eastern Oregon, sorry, in the east of Oregon, not west, in Eastern Oregon, in Eastern Washington, I've heard that the Republicans like, want to join Idaho or something. It's, that's a weird proposition, but could very well happen, I guess. I'm joking. Who am I kidding? It's not going to happen. Amodi, yeah, he'll win there. But I'm actually going to talk about Nevada's other district, which is the middle one, which was very competitive. How was that one? Okay, that one's not going to be competitive in 2020. It was somewhat competitive in 2018. It's not going to be competitive. Or Horsford won. Was that a flip? Horsford, I meant, not Horsford. But it'll probably go with the Democrats by a lead margin, similar to the state of Nevada, only because there are some cities that kind of make it blue. But other than that, it's rural. Also, we're going to talk about California now, which is a ton of districts to fill in. We're going to go pretty quickly here. I'm just going to actually, I don't know I'm going to talk about, where's Mike Garcia's seat? Oh, that's Hill's. All right, so it's that seat where Hill defeated Steve Knight, who's the incumbent, I believe. I was about to say Bobby Knight for some reason, which is really dumb. So I'm just going, Garcia's going to hold on to that seat. I mean, he beat Christy Smith, who again was a pretty weak candidate, but he'll win re-election being the incumbent. T.J. Cox is going to win re-election. I mean, a strong candidate who has a lot of appeal to a lot of voters. Plus, being California presidential election year is only going to help the Democrats drive up turnout harder. Yeah, he'll. Wait, sorry, I forgot what district that was. It was that. Right, it was right. So he'll probably win re-election by a lean margin in any more competitive districts in California. Yeah, that was not going to be competitive. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna fill out Hunter. I don't see how is that one's gonna flip back to the Democrats. I don't. I'm doing a pretty bad job of providing logic, but again, this is a house prediction, so I can't really do logic behind every single race that I cover. So, well, that I try to cover. I'm not really doing a good job, but all right. So so then the rest of these are going to be safe for the Democrats. Again, I know I'm going pretty quickly here, but this has been like an hour long, so I'm going to condense this. And you probably skipped to the end right now. But if you haven't, like, just tell me in the comments, because that is a huge achievement. You haven't skipped to the end. Like, in the comments, just say, "Hey UAP, I didn't skip to the end because I'm that great of a person," which is actually that's actually low key. That's insane. Right, so we're gonna go to LA Land is gonna be La La Land. Oh, wrong district character. I forgot to characterize that for the Republicans. Looks like a puzzle piece. Alright. America's guy named Peacock. And then Raul Ruiz's district. I'm hearing some stuff that it's gonna be competitive, but his seat is not gonna be competitive. As you can see, Democrats are past 218. We only have 2 more districts to cover. Thank God. Hawaii is going to be all blue, and in Alaska's district is pretty interesting because there is an unpopular incumbent named last name Young, first name I don't know. Let's see where was it? Young. Yeah. So the rematch. Galvin's running again, and actually I think the polls have him ahead. There was a pretty recent one conducted that had him ahead. And I'm going to go on a limb and say this, and I think that the Democrats are going to flip Alaska. Now I know people are gonna how are the Democrats gonna flip Alaska? Here's my logic: presidential election year, Joe Biden is probably going to lose to Trump in Alaska, but Al Gross is running a very very strong campaign there for Senate there, and he could very well win. And I think that the Republicans are sleeping on him. In Alaska, I think that he actually has a very good shot at winning, probably 45% chance of winning. And I'm going to give this to the Democrats by a lead margin. So that's it. That's my House projection. I know this took so long. You probably just skip to the end so you can see the map. This is the final product, everyone. It's just so I want to see what it looks like on terminal because that's when it looks the best. It's there we go. Okay, that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. It took me forever, so thanks. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all later. Bye.